Hello and welcome back to Do-It-Yourself Smart Code. In this video I want to show you how you can deploy your Bolt.DIY instance on Cloudflare pages. So as you can see here, it's deployed on a domain and the domain is from Cloudflare and you can reach it via internet and just use it from everywhere. So let's start with the first part, which is the GitHub setup. As we can see here on the right side within the task list. So the first step is you log into your Git account and then go to the StackBlitz repository. As seen here, you can copy it from the task list, go to it on the browser, and then we need to fork the repository in our own GitHub account. So for this, there's a button here on top called fork. You can just click it or click on the arrow down and create a new fork. Then you see this screen. You can leave the repository name like this, or you can change it as you want. I will name it Cloudflare. And the rest we can, let me check. Can uncheck this. So we want a stable branch as well. I see this is missing here. I will add it to the task list after the video, but make sure you tick this checkbox, copy the main branch only, because we want the stable branch as well. Then click create fork. Takes a few seconds. And now we have forked this repository. So now you can see it's in my own account with this name. And we can now change the needed files. So the first step here is then switch to stable branch. We can do here on this button, just search for stable, click it. Okay, now we are on the stable branch and we can now go to the next step, which is delete these two files, because otherwise the deployment is not working on Cloudflare. So we need to delete them. So just search for them. Here is the Wrangler file. Just open a new tab. And the tools version is here. Open new tab. Then we go there, click on top right, go down and click delete file. Then click commit changes. Can leave everything as set. Commit changes and the file is gone. Then we do the same with the other file. Commit changes, done. And we finished the GitHub setup. So now we can go on to the next part. The second part is to log in into Cloudflare. So just copy this URL, paste, and then the easiest way to log in is to continue with Google, or if you got an Apple account, use this. But you can also just sign up with email and password and use this. I will take Google now and I'm back when I'm logged in. Okay, we are now logged in and you will see the account homepage. It looks like that. And the next step is to go to Worker and Pages within the compute directory, which is on the left side here on the bottom. We open it, click Workers and Pages, and then go to the Pages tab. The next step we have to do is then connect to Git. So we just click connect to Git, choose GitHub here, click connect GitHub. Then choose your Git account. And then you can choose between all repositories or just selected ones. So in my case, I just want to select the Cloudflare one. So it just has the permissions for what it is needed and not to everything. Okay, the rest is good. Then just click install and authorize. And now it's connected. The next step is we can begin the setup and create the project. So we can select from the repositories. So we just have one in this case. If you have a list because you chose all repositories, then just select the correct repository here. And then we click begin setup. Okay, then we get this configurations. You can put another name if you want, because this is also relevant for the URL you get then. In my case, that's okay. And we select the stable branch here, because on this we deleted also the regular file and the tools version. The next one is we are already here. Are the build options. If you go in the task list to the description, you see more information, which is framework preset. We choose remix, which is here. Then build output directory is okay, but we need to change the build command. You can just copy from here and paste it here. Then the root directory is okay, nothing to add. And for the variables, we don't need it right now, but if you want to set your variables, you can do it here. But unless you get authentication via Zero Trust and have a login, then I would not recommend doing it, because otherwise everyone visiting your page will have access to your keys or use your keys to use Bolt. So we go on and click save and deploy. Okay, we can check these two on the task list. And we already clicked setup and deploy. So the next step, yeah, it's already building, but I know it will fail because we have to do initial additional config, which we couldn't do before. So we just can cancel the deployment for now. And continue to the project here on the bottom. Yes, please continue. And then we have to go to the settings tab here on top, right? And we need to change here look here, runtime. We go to compatibility flags and we need to use this one, Node.js compat. Just copy paste it in because it's not in the list, you will not find it. Then click it, save. So these one are done. In some cases, it could be needed to set the compatibility date as well to an older version, but it should work with the pre-selected one. But in case it does not, try this one from September. Okay, then we can retry the deployment. So everything saved here. Then we can go back to the deployment tab. Go to the 3 dots and click retry deployment. Can check this. And now we have to wait for the deployment. So I will pause the video and I'm back when it's finished. Okay, I think it was half a minute and now it's finished deploying. And now we can check out if it is working. So we check out. the URL, which we can see here on top. Here's a test URL for a specific build, but we also can go back and use the build domain. Just click it and it will open the deployed page. So on first start, or even a few minutes, or maybe half an hour, sometimes it's very slow in the beginning, but that's normal. So just be patient and try out at some time later. So as you see, it's loading, and I guess it's caching everything in the background, and this takes some time. So I will pause the video again, and if it's loaded, I'm back. Okay, and we're back, and as you can see, everything is deployed. So we now can test to set a key, for example, for Google. I just saved it, click OK, and then we can try it out. Just click on this prompt on the bottom. And as we can see, everything is working fine, and you can use Bolt.DIY on Cloudflare. The next thing I want to show you is how to use a custom domain. So if you got a domain already, you can create a subdomain for Bolt and configure it here in Cloudflare, which is also free. It's everything free, what I've shown here in the last minutes. So for the custom domain, we have to go to our application. You can see the account start page now looking a little bit different. So you can see your applications directly here on the start page. Then we just click on the application name, click on custom domains, and here we can set up our custom domain. Just click it. I want to use bolt.smartcode.diy. So this is my domain, and I created the subdomain for this video. So we can click continue then. Then you get some instructions here. You can either use Cloudflare DNS if you are on Cloudflare, but I've got mine on United Domains. So I use their DNS provider. So just click begin CNAME setup. And then we will see the instructions, what we have to do on United Domains in my case. So we have to create a CNAME record with the name Bolt, and the target is this URL. So I already logged in my account on United Domains, and yeah, there's already the CNAME in. If you don't have one, just click add a new one, and put the informations in. So here's the subdomain, and then the right side is the target. Then you just click save, and yeah, then you have to wait. I guess it took initially 15 minutes, but then it was working. So I can do check DNS. As you can see, it's now activated. As I said, for you, it will take some time until your DNS configuration is in place. So yeah, as in here, it can take up to 24 hours, but normally it's just 15 minutes or half an hour in max. Okay, the next step is we can click continue. And now we can see it is active. So I just can copy it, paste it, and as you can see, we are on the Bolt instance. The last thing I want to show you is how to update your Cloudflare instance. So you need to go back to your Git, where your Bolt instance is, the forked repository. Then you see here, where is it gone? The sync fork button. So you can directly click it And at the moment there's nothing I can sync with the main branch from the Bolt.DIY project, but if there are changes, you will see here information where you can click a button to sync it. Just make sure you don't dismiss the changes you already did, which is deleting the Wrangler file and the tools version. So if you did it by mistake and see the files are here again, then just delete it as shown in the beginning. And after this is done and you sync your fork, it will deploy automatically. We can just change here anything to demonstrate that the deployment is working. So I just change here, add a new command, test, commit the changes. Okay, it's done. And if we now go back to our Cloudflare instance, here to deployments, then we see here there's a new environment source, the main branch with the new commit, and it's running already. Can click on details. And in this case, there was an error because PNPM plugin is not installed, it says. Okay, let's check the branch again. I mean the repository. I'm on the wrong branch here. So that was my mistake. So let's go to stable. And we just change something here. I can't, I have to edit file here on top first, and then we can write test, commit changes, commit, go back to Cloudflare, let's go to account home, click the application name, and now we see it's deploying the stable branch again. And this should work now fine. So make sure you are on the correct branch here and not on the main, because it's default. So it's selected by default, but you have to switch to the stable here before you do your changes. Okay, so you also have to sync here for the stable. So just to make sure. So you first choose the stable branch and then click sync fork. Okay, so as we see, the update is working, so everything is good. And yeah, it's easy to update everything, and you can play around with your Cloudflare instance. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is some additional informations I've added here in the task list, so some troubleshooting guides. You can just go to the description of every item and see how you can get help with your problem. So styling issues, PNPM plugin is not installed, and some other stuff. So just click here, or you can go to the original post from Michael, who he showed the instructions for installing on Cloudflare pages here, step by step. So my tutorial is based on this, and you can also ask questions in here if you got some. So thank you very much, Michael. This is a very awesome introduction or tutorial how to install on Cloudflare, and I hope we get a few more in the future for Netlify I want to do a video on how to install an VPS as well, so on your own server. So let me know in what you are interested. And one more thing I want to quickly introduce is the authentication and login you can do with Cloudflare pages. So here it's zero trust here, but you have to use a credit card, although it is free to use to a specific rate limit. So yeah, if you are interested, check this out and let me know if I should do a video on this. Then I can do it in a separate video.